did not warn anyone that this was coming, so I'm going to give it a few minutes. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. Well, hello. Hi there. Don't forget the thumbs up as you come in the room. I'm going to be reading a new chapter. I'm actually going to leave both chapters up. Hi, Charlotte. Charlotte, hold on. Add moderator. Charlotte, because you come to so many of my videos, I'm making you a moderator. Hi, Juanita. Good morning. Good morning. Can you guys believe that this week, because of my restrictions, I have now written on a whole other chapter of my book. So that's a good thing. There's not much else I can do. I know. I kind of feel like I'm in the home stretch now. I have definitely passed the halfway mark of my book. I have passed the halfway mark. Let's see. So I have written 85 pages, but we're talking about word pages. So if I had to put this in a book, in a regular size book, we're talking about much longer than that. Oh my gosh. I have written 55,373 words, 500 paragraphs. That's since January 1st. So I am very impressed. I'm very, very proud of myself. That's huge. I set a goal to have this book completed by the end of the year, and anyone who's ever written knows that you have to be in this very specific place, especially when you're writing and you have to be a little bit creative. You have to be in this very special place in your head. Sorry, the hair's not done, the makeup's not done, I am following doctor's orders and I'm relaxing. I'm taking it easy. I'm not doing anything strenuous. I'm not working out. I'm not doing anything. I am following doctor's orders because I do want to get better and I want to feel better. So let's see. Sometimes this chat shuts off and then I can't see what anyone is writing. I'll be driving and listening. Oh, congratulations, niece. I will say a prayer for your niece for this new baby coming into the world. Okay. Thank you. I can always use prayers. So I didn't announce this live reading. People are used to me doing readings on Sundays. I'm not going to keep a lot of you a long time because I do realize it's a work week and some of you are very, very busy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and start reading. If someone comes into the group, please say hi to them. Let them know that I'll check the comments. Moderators, let them know I'll check the comments after I'm done reading. Remind them that the thumbs up. I guess we'll go from there because we're 4 minutes in. So I'm just going to start reading. So I always go back to the last paragraph that I read, so to keep you guys up to date. So let's start here. Years later, my entire tribe on YouTube would be built around the Turtle Tribe and Ninja Nation. My turtles are strong, powerful, and confident women. We are compassionate, inspiring, and fighters to the core. My turtle tribe is informative, helpful, and loving. It took me 4 years to reach the place that I can embrace my inner turtle, but I couldn't belong to a better tribe. A turtle in weight loss, this is the new writing. A turtle in weight loss not only has to follow the weight loss protocol to lose weight, but they have to fight for each and every ounce. The turtle truly feels like a bystander as they watch the rabbits cross the finish line, even the ones who started the race months after them. This is not about hating rabbits. What isn't there to love about them? It's about how sometimes we only know what we know. The turtle oftentimes is the encourager. They are that soft, gentle voice that says, "You can do this." They put a big smile on their face as they cheer on the rabbits. all the while continuously dissecting their own plan and constantly asking, why am I not losing weight? They face all of the struggles of the rabbit, but they don't have the scale continuously standing up and applauding them. Turtles have to endure the continuous patronization from the other rabbits. This is a journey, not a race. You should be doing this for your health. All the while, the rabbits jump up and down in celebratory dances week after week when they report their 1 to 3 pound weight loss consistently. The rabbits typically own the cheerleader and the informative personas in social media. Because they are not quite as metabolically screwed up, they believe that their way is the only way to lose weight, and if you're not following their plan, it's your fault. Rabbits in each nutritional plan are a little bit different, but I will describe the rabbit and turtle in all of the plans that I have tried. The rabbit tends to be a roller coaster ride, fast and exciting, while life as a turtle can be a swing set, slow, drifting back and forth. Rabbits typically do not have long-term stalls, but when they do, if they stall for more than 10 days, they have meltdowns of epic proportion, all the while scolding their turtle for their downheartedness. Turtles deserve as much applause and recognition as the rabbit because the turtle typically only loses 1 to 2 pounds a month. That applause leaves enormous gaps of silence in between their successes, whereas the rabbit hears that glorious affirmation week after week. Rabbits can oftentimes dismiss a cheat day knowing that it's just a minor setback. Oftentimes, in any weight loss social group, I've witnessed testimonies of rabbits after a cheat day. They use cliches like, this is a journey, not a race, and it's a special occasion, and that's what they are for. Rabbits know that if they're very strict for the next few days, the weight will just fall off in quick time. The turtle just can't seem to sustain the same amount of momentum post-cheat day. Remember, I said turtles typically only lose 1 to 2 pounds a month. So a cheat day for a turtle, not even a whole cheat day, it can be as minuscule as a cheat treat. The ramifications can be weeks. I can attest to this, and this is my testimony. My husband and I recently went on a 3 to 4 night cruise, and on day 1, I was perfect keto. Day 2 started out perfect, but ended with a banana daiquiri, or 2, or 4, which then led to drunken pizza binge at 2 a.m. Did you know that cruise ships are 24-hour food and drink fest? On the 3rd day, all day, I kept it keto except for dinner. At dinner, I ate 1 dinner roll and a small slice of cheesecake, followed then by more daiquiris. On day 4, I was back to perfect keto and fasted for 18 hours. I gained 11 pounds though. Yep, 11 pounds in 2 days. 11 pounds, and it took me 6 weeks of the strictest keto, several 20-hour fasting days, 10,000 steps a day, cardio 3 times a week to get back to my pre-cruise weight. I'm a turtle, baby. We'll talk more about keto later. Enough about rabbits and turtles for now. Let's talk more about diets. Let's start my journey with loseit.com. 8 months into loseit.com, I hit 200 pounds, and I was dying to hit Wonderland. That's 8 months to lose 39 pounds, and my tracker lied daily. I was supposed to be at my goal weight by now. For those of you who do not understand Wonderland, let me explain what it means to me. As a young adult, age 20 to 25, other than during pregnancy, I maintained a weight of 150 to 170-ish. I used to use my weight as a safety harness. I could be 179.9999999, but at least I wasn't 180, so I was okay. I set up mile markers of self-worth in 10-pound increments. Sometime around age 32, I was confirmed to be entering perimenopause. My weight suffered, and from age 35 to age 40, I maintained 170 to 180-ish, pounds. But still, at least I didn't weigh 200. I moved that imaginary goalpost again and convinced myself that I really didn't look that horrible as long as I didn't weigh 200 pounds. Because 199.9999 was good, but as long as I didn't weigh 200 pounds, I wasn't fat yet. I hovered at 200 pounds for about 3 months. I ate clean. I had no cheat days. I was working out. I was cutting back sugar. I was eating salads, fruit, oatmeal, quinoa, flaxseed, edamame, and nothing except my blood sugars kept creeping up. I was having hypoglycemia episodes with sugar plummeting into the 40s and 50s. I wasn't eating any real sugar though, and I just couldn't understand why this was happening. At this point, I substituted red meats for turkey, chicken, and fish. I had cut my dairy down to almost nothing. I'd quit drinking diet soda and reduced my calorie-friendly sweets to just one small portion a day. Out of desperation, I cut my calories to 1,200 calories a day because the 1,700 that the Lose It app gave me was not working. For a moment, it worked. Calories in, calories out. That was the way to go. Finally, I was under 200 pounds and I became the biggest advocate for LoseIt.com. I did videos and promoted them on my channel each week. Week after week, I sang their praises. Yep, Calorie app was the ticket and I was going to make my weight goal. It was working fabulously now, except for when it didn't work. 1 year on LoseIt.com and I was proud, so proud. I'd only had a few cheat days, but I was starving, but that didn't matter because that was punishment and I was losing weight. I became a low-calorie seeking missile. I visited all of the low-calorie and no-calorie foods because I was starving. What started a year earlier as a 1,700 calorie a day suggestion was now 1,200 calorie day path to insulin resistance. Because I was burning about 2,200 calories a day and only consuming 1,200, I was forever and continuously hungry. I was battling extreme high and low blood sugars, so I began eating 6 meals a day because that's what diabetics are supposed to do, right? It was perfect. Around 6 a.m., I had a small cup of oatmeal with fresh fruit and yogurt, or a McDonald's Egg White Delight, because that was low calorie, low fat. This only gave me 200 to 300 calories for breakfast and left me 900. Sometime around 9:30, I would eat an apple because apples have fiber and they're good for you, and they only have 90 calories, leaving me 800 calories left. Around lunchtime, I would bring down a can of no-fat or low-calorie soup, add a little extra veg, and accompany by a wholesome piece of sprouted organic bread. I now sat with about 400 calories, that added about 400 calories, leaving me about 500 left. Sometime around 2 in the afternoon, I would eat a snack bar, but it was only a 100-calorie snack bar, so it was healthy. With 200 to 400 calories left for dinner, I always chose chicken, turkey, fish, or a small salad and veg with a low-calorie dressing. Other low-calorie favorites included bananas, yogurt, fruit, hard-boiled eggs, celery, peanut butter, homemade granola. Yes, there's even a YouTube video, and overnight oats. I lived on almond milk, green tea, and water. I made sure I drank 80 ounces a day, and my sugars just rose higher and higher. Around this time, my morning fasted sugars were 107 to 110. Not too bad. Eating 6 small meals a day must be working. I had convinced myself that the starving part of my journey was what I deserved for being fat because fat people just shouldn't be allowed to eat. About 16 months into my low-calorie wonderland is when the binge eating became more and more frequent. I still hated myself, and while I learned every low-calorie food to tame the hunger beast, I felt like a failure. Why was this so easy for everyone else? Through Lose It, I would discover Fitbit. As my social circle grew, I began seeing a calorie deficit earned. What was that? So one day in a group chat, I posed the question, And the answer was that I needed a Fitbit because I just knew that this precise calorie, if I knew what I burned per day, then most certainly this would give me the magical number I was chasing. I mean, I had my nutrition right, I was working out, I was eating super healthy, so the only thing left to do was fine tune my workouts. This was going to be my answer. This was going to be that special ingredient for weight loss. Finally, I would be skinny. There's something so humbling about reality and perception. Just as uninformed as I was about how many calories I thought I ate a day, the Fitbit would soon show me just how inactive I was. My job was physical. I mean, before my Fitbit, I would have told you I walked 10,000 steps a day. Imagine my disappointment and shock to discover that that wasn't true. It turns out that being obese and unhealthy makes 5,000 steps feel like 10,000 steps. And all of those calories I thought I was burning off, well, this was not my fault though. Most calorie trackers that allow you to track fitness, the problem is that they grossly overestimate the amount of calories you burn during these activities. Then it pops out as a numerical trait called the calorie allowance. The Fitbit saved my life, but it also led me down a path of misguidance. The misguidance is not intentional, as most somewhat healthy young people new to dieting can use this tool to navigate the calorie in, calorie out method successfully. With that being said, these trackers do not factor menopause, diabetes, low estrogen, sleep disorders, insulin resistance, fatty liver, cortisol levels, predisposition to diabetes, or if you single-heartedly have destroyed your metabolism with chronic dieting. Just like Pavlov's dog, the calories earned subconsciously created a need to eat food. A 2-mile walk earned me another 280 calories. This created two separate issues. Let's discuss both of them in detail. The first issue it created was it was a numerical answer to a biological question. No matter what the deficit was, no matter how many calories I burned, no matter how little food that I ate, based on rewards, that food-based reward I earned, food was not my issue, nor was it my calories. My problem was my body's inability to process the food that I was eating and the hormonal responses to the food. The mental mind game of calorie in, calorie out set me up for the potential to create bigger issues. First, I was using food via food earned in calories as a reward, or I was running extreme calorie deficits for days on end, resulting in binge eating. This probably also created the breeding ground for the mass production of cortisol. It discouraged me even further to know that the nutritional information burned into my skull from childhood, eat less, move more, wasn't working for me. This created more comparisons, more questions, and more frustration and desperation. The good thing that came of my Fitbit addiction was that it awoke my competitive nature. A 30-minute mile became a 25-minute mile that led to me running my first 5K in 41 minutes, placing third in my age group. It led me to consciously making an effort to be stronger. I developed habits that to this day have changed what I thought would never be. I'm an athlete. I found that little girl in the beginning of this book. I was standing there for the first time in 30-something years, proclaiming my strength and celebrating my self-discipline. I was active again, and I made it my mission to walk 2 miles before work each day. And other than the recent health issues I've had, I've stuck to that goal. I would jump into Lose It group every day and leave a word of inspiration. I had learned to never share my doubts or negativity on this forum because the trolls were also starving and fed on your personal anguish. I would write full-on daily inspirations, and I had quite a large following. I wasn't doing it for them though. I was trying to convince myself that I could maintain this for life. You could always gauge my success by the frequency of my posting. After a binge, I would hide for days, in shame and anguish. During this time, I had started a private weight loss group on Facebook. I had started by joining a group, but the owner of the group was seriously disturbed and her minions made it impossible to feel supported. I will describe this experience in the next paragraph, maybe two, because out of this arose my YouTube channel. I needed inspiration. My family was really tired of hearing about my weight loss journey. I was boring everyone and I just needed a place to talk about weight loss. I met some of the most amazing women in this group. Several of these amazing women would eventually rise up in an act of mutiny and leave the group belonging to the Wicked Witch of Facebook. I became the group owner and, hold on, I lost my place. I became the group owner and this was so beneficial for me at the time. I created challenges, contests, and every day would do some type of inspirational video or quote. The women that followed me became a sisterhood. We had shared more than weight loss. We shared struggles and family chaos. We talked about recipes and women's issues. We all became friends. I started posting these 10-minute Monday motivational videos, and the group all suggested that I start a YouTube channel. And that's how Princess Ninja in Keto was born. Of course, I started simply as Melanie Hind. The keto would come much later, after Lose It, after DNA weight loss, after Weight Watchers, after 30 days of raw vegan, after vegetarian Mediterranean, after all of those diets failed and my blood sugar became unmanageable. Let's get back to the psycho that ran the Facebook group, who will remain nameless. The group started with a great format. It was very supportive and helpful. There was a way to win prizes, but that's when the group turned ugly. The leader of this group did not have a job or children. Basically, she had all the time in the world and became a dictator. She created challenges that no one could complete, each week proclaiming herself or one of her minions as a winner. If you spoke up about anything at all that contradicted her, she would post a 5-minute ass chewing the next day, scolding you in the group like a child. Then she would openly bash people for not commenting or adding to every post. There was about 160 people in the group and as many as 50 posts a day. Of course, half of those posts were her, but never mind that. I finally called her out publicly, and that's when the stalker psycho came out. Within days, I had to block her on every social media forum. She was harassing me with marathon-type passive-aggressive emails and text messages. She was acting as if I destroyed her life. And did I mention that some of us work and have full-time families? I cannot compete in her made-to-order competitions. The group started out as meaningful and positive and quickly became a lifetime original series called How the Internet Group Ruined My Life. For weeks, this crazy lady posted the most horrific lies in her group about me and threatened anyone that was my friend on Facebook that if they didn't unfriend me, they would be deleted. 7 of the girls immediately jumped into my weight loss group and were banished for eternity for doing so. Again, social media has benefits and can be a powerful tool, but there's definitely a dark side. I had group rules. I tried to use the mistakes the crazy lady made as a template. I took the good, positive aspects and put them to use. I kept the group small, no more than 20 people. I kept their stats. I gave them accountability tasks each day. I attempted to make each task no more than 10 minutes. The group overall was a success. It was me who destroyed it. Again, as a turtle, I watched people lose 5 to 7 pounds a week consistently, and I could not even lose 1. I compared my journey to theirs, and my lack of success, I used it as a bat to beat myself over the head with. I became jealous, and I lost the reasons I started the group in the first place. I found it to be too stressful to continuously be responsible for the motivation of others, and I was beginning to lose all hope. The good news is that Lose It had a new DNA feature. This DNA for weight loss, I just knew with all of my heart that this was going to be the most valuable tool I've ever used. This DNA test measured for the most common weight loss markers associated to genetically predisposed obesity. I took the test hoping it would say, Melanie, you're fat because of genetics. Nope, it didn't do that at all. However, I stuck to the suggestions and dropped 6 pounds pretty quickly for this turtle. So I ran with it. There is actually a playlist on my YouTube, DNA Weight Loss. You can see my excitement, my newfound hope. I was a ninja again. This was going to be the one singular thing that would unlock my weight loss. I just knew it. I can tell you, but it was not. But it was the best $200 I've ever spent. Through this test, I learned that I had a rare, less than 2% of the entire world population has it rare. It was where I discovered that I have a rare combination of genetic markers that make me prone to high blood glucose levels. Now we're cooking with grease. This test also provided me with a few I told you so's. It stated that fat wouldn't impact my journey at all. Thank goodness, because I desperately wanted a steak. It said that caffeine had little impact on me. The test gave me a comprehensive list of foods to eat based on my DNA. Out of the DNA experience, I narrowed my food choices to a vegetarian/Mediterranean style diet. I was eating tons of fruits and veggies, salads, edamame. I was eating broiled fish, blackened chicken, olive oil, quinoa, black beans, lentils, because legumes are healthy, right? At this time, I was checking my blood glucose 3 times a day under doctor's advice. My average morning fasted blood glucose was now 127. Several times a day, I would notice extreme drops in the 50s and 40s. This was my introduction to reactive hypoglycemia, and the beginning of type 2 diabetes. What do you think? Let me see what the comments are because my live chat has disappeared. Let me see who's here. Hi, Keto Grace, Jana. Hi, Jana. I've never seen you on the channel before. All right, still praying. Hello, ladies. Anyone else new in here? I got 7 people in the room, 4 likes. Please don't forget the thumbs up. What do you think about the new chapter? What I'm hoping that this book does. Look, I'm not saying that loseit.com doesn't work. I'm not saying that calories in, calories out doesn't work. Calories in, calories out, Weight Watchers, Fitbit, it works for people who still have healthy metabolisms. I believe with all of my heart and soul that there are thousands of people in this world that are obese right now, that if they were to move more, eat less, if they were to eat a little cleaner, if they were to just cut down, it's the reason why people can go on 100 carbs or less a day and still successfully lose weight. What I'm hoping is that my book, oh, thank you. Thank you, Jana. I'm hoping to have this book completed by the end of the year and then published by the end of next year. That's my goal. What I want this book to be is I want that woman that's 250, 350 pounds or man to pick up this book and number one, say, oh my gosh, that sounds like me. She has the binge eating. She has the calorie, the disproportion. She has body dysmorphia, low self-esteem, came from a troubled childhood, and she overcame it. And she tried this, and this is what worked and didn't work. And she tried this, and this is what worked and didn't work. And she tried this, and finally, she found what works for her. I don't care if they ever do keto. That's not what this book is about. This book is don't give up. Keep looking, keep trying, but learn how to love yourself, because no matter what tools I give you, if I don't teach you how to build the house, you're not going to build a house that's going to withstand a storm. How do you know that a concrete slab isn't viable unless you put rebar in it? I have to teach you that, right? I have to tell you about rebar because if not, the foundation cracks and down goes the house. So I can't just hand you a bunch of tools and say, use these tools. I have to explain to you why those tools work, how they work, where they benefit. I'm just praying and I'm hoping and I pray to God that He puts this book, He finds the person that felt the way that I felt the day I started keto, and it inspires them to keep going. It inspires. That's what this book about. This book isn't about preaching about keto. It's not. Because do I believe that Weight Watchers is a good program? I absolutely do. Because a lot of people are overweight because they have disproportionate portion control. They don't have metabolic issues. They're not insulin resistant. And for them, starting the day with oatmeal and fruit and then eating a small thing of light chicken salad and then eating a well-proportioned meal is going to work for them. And they can maintain their life. They can lose weight. They can be healthy, right? But there are that percentage of people like myself who have destroyed my metabolism. Thank you. Hi, Misty. There are those people out there that destroyed their metabolism. They've yo-yo dieted. They have portion control disorder. They hate themselves. And what this book is now transitioning, what you're seeing in this book. So the first section of my book, you know what? I got to tell you, Jana, that I was on Weight Watchers. I have a YouTube channel. I lost 6 pounds in 6 months on Weight Watchers, and that was following it strict to the letter. I have cooking videos for Weight Watchers based on point systems. I have tips and tricks to be successful at Weight Watchers. I have all of that on there, but it didn't work for me. You know why? Once again, I said it in here. I didn't have a calorie issue. I didn't have a food issue. I had a biological response to the food that I was eating. My body was insulin resistant. My liver was fatty. I was eating way more sugar, natural sugar in the way of fruit and regular sugar. I was eating too much sugar, too many carbs. My body couldn't handle it anymore. And through that, I developed insulin resistance. The main key that I want to drive home with these diets is that, especially here where I keep going over and over about, I was the queen of low calorie foods. Like I had a whole series of 100-calorie snacks, right? But it's not that. The average female can only process 6 teaspoons of sugar a day. That's not made up. That is a medical fact. Well, how many teaspoons of sugar are there in one apple? One slice of bread. If you look at the carbohydrates and what gets converted to sugar, you have a problem. And if you're someone that is predisposed to diabetes, if you're someone who's predisposed to insulin resistant, if you're somebody that's struggling with eating disorders, eating behaviors, being hungry all the time, you might be successful for 3 days. You might be successful for 5 days. You might go 30 days and never have a cheat, but you are setting yourself up for a binge and an unhealthy relationship with food. In perspective too, you are going to look at food as a reward, and that's what I'm starting to hint on now. When I started my Fitbit, I was looking at that calorie deficit, that calories earned as a reward. I wasn't changing my relationship with food. Client-wise. 2 bananas. Oh my gosh, you know, bananas are the worst. I used to be a banana girl. I used to make smoothies with frozen bananas. At any given time, there was a dozen bananas in my house and frozen bananas in my fridge. And I showed you how to make brownies with bananas and cookies with bananas. And I do make some amazing banana bread, but not keto. Anyway, so that's where I'm going with my book. And I expect you guys, the ones of you that have been following me from the beginning, keep me straight. I know this has to be a story about me. You have to understand where I came from. right? To understand, okay, how does this seemingly normal person, how did she become so neurotic? Where did her self-esteem go bad? When did she start gaining weight? When did her yo-yo dieting start? Where did the relationship with food go bad? Where did she develop this body dysmorphia? Because I can tell you that I could probably interview 100 morbidly obese women, and almost every single one of them are going to be able to relate to several parts of this book. They're going to be, I can't even tell you how many women have come forward and said, thank you for writing this book. I feel like you're telling my story. So I think it's important to get it out there. I really do. The first part of the book was just talking about childhood, some of the things that happened that took me, little girls are not born insecure. They become insecure. What is it that created that? What created that? How did they go from being confident little girls to neurotic messes like I have been throughout my life? So anyway, I want to thank you guys all for joining me. I'm just chilling. I'm trying to get as much of this book written as I can, since I am recovering from a surgical procedure, and I can't do anything. I can't do really anything with this right hand, so I'm so limited. But since finishing this book was one of my goals I set on January 1st, I thought, well, let me work on that goal. I want to thank you guys for joining me. I want to thank my beautiful moderators for coming in and helping moderate the chat. Please remember to give this a thumbs up. You can comment after the video. If you missed some of the video, please go back and re-watch. That really helps my channel grow. I'm still posting a daily video. I'll be posting that later tonight. Accountability, find out how my fasting's going, how I'm getting back on track. After this last 6 weeks has been kind of rough for me. Anyway, I love you guys so much. I'll see you later with my daily blog.